Hi, I'm Kennedy Pratt.
And I'm Meredith Ryan, and this is
Humoral and Cellular Immunity Response.
First, we're going to be talking about humoral immunity response. This response starts out with a simple B lymphocyte cell. This B lymphocyte cell is immunocompetent, which means it has specific antigen binding sites, but it's also naive. Naive also means it's immature. The only way for it to mature is for it to bind with an antigen, or otherwise known as a pathogen. This binding event activates the B lymphocyte. Now that it's activated, it undergoes clonal selection or proliferation. Now, the B lymphocyte cell will either turn it into, most commonly, a plasma cell or a memory cell. The plasma cell is an antibody-making factory. It creates so many antibodies. These antibodies can bind to a virus in a process called neutralization, which neutralizes the virus and stops it from harming body cells. Whenever the B cell comes back into contact with the antigen, it makes memory cells, and also a lot more plasma cells. These plasma cells release a whole bunch of these antibodies. This secondary response is a much stronger response that suppresses the symptoms of the pathogens. These special memory cells are responsible for identifying the antigen if it comes back into the body later.
This second response is called cellular immunity. This immunity has to do with cells that have been infected by pathogens. It starts with a macrophage consuming an antigen. This process is called phagocytosis, and this macrophage becomes an antigen-presenting cell, which presents the pathogen to the helper T cell. The helper T cell recognizes the antigen as foreign. The helper T cell becomes activated and goes through clonal selection. These clones are more T cells that have different jobs. This T cell creates more B cells for humoral response. This helper T cell can also create cytotoxic cells, which can either become active cells or memory cells. If this cytotoxic cell becomes an active cell, then it can kill cells that have been affected by the pathogen. It kills the infected cell by injecting perforin into it, which causes it to lyse, which means blow up. One of the T cells stated before is called a regulatory T cell, which suppresses the actions of the T cell and the B cell from further initiating the immunity response. This was our project about the humoral and cellular response in the immune system. Thanks for watching!